Follow justice and justice alone, so that you may live and possess the land the Lord your God is giving you. Deuteronomy 16:20.
When people create false stories to ruin someone's name or personality, psychology explains it through several motives and mental processes. 1. Envy and jealousy. Some individuals feel threatened by another person's success, reputation, or social standing. To bring the person down, they spread lies or damaging stories. This is a defense mechanism to cope with their own insecurity. 2. Projection. People sometimes project their own flaws or wrongdoings onto others. Instead of facing their own shortcomings, they invent stories that paint others negatively, as if shifting the guilt outward. 3. Power and control. Spreading false narratives can give a sense of control or superiority. Gossip or slander becomes a tool to influence how others see the target, giving the storyteller social leverage. 4. Low self-esteem and insecurity. Individuals with fragile self-worth may feel validated by tearing others down. It temporarily boosts their ego by making them feel better than the target. 5. Group belonging and social influence. Sometimes people join in slandering because they want to fit in with a group. Rumor spreading can create a sense of unity within a circle, at the expense of an outsider's reputation. 6. Unresolved anger or resentment. If someone feels wronged, whether real or imagined, they may retaliate by tarnishing the person's character. It's a form of indirect revenge. 7. Cognitive biases. The human brain tends to remember negative information more strongly, called negativity bias. Storytellers exploit this by fabricating damaging narratives, knowing they stick more in people's minds than positive facts. 8. Pathological tendencies. In extreme cases, personality disorders, like narcissistic or antisocial personality disorder, can drive people to manipulate, lie, and slander without remorse. In summary, people create such stories mainly out of insecurity, jealousy, desire for control, or unresolved emotional conflicts. It often reveals more about the storyteller's inner struggles than about the victim. Let's connect the psychological reasons with biblical and philosophical perspectives. Biblical perspective. The Bible places strong emphasis on the value of truth and the dangers of slander. Commandment against false witness. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, Exodus 20:16. Creating lies to ruin someone's name is directly condemned, rooted in the heart's condition. Jesus taught that what comes out of the mouth reflects what's in the heart, Matthew 15:18-19. False stories flow from envy, hatred, or insecurity inside the person, driven by evil intent. The Bible often describes slander and gossip as works of the flesh, Galatians 5:19-21. It's a destructive act meant to kill someone's reputation, similar to murdering with words. Ultimate accountability. But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. Matthew 12:36. Even hidden lies will be judged by God. Philosophical perspective. Philosophy also recognizes the ethical and moral implications of defaming others. Aristotle, envy and malice. Aristotle saw envy, thanos, as a destructive passion. People slander others because they can't bear someone else's good fortune. Socrates' ignorance as the root of evil. Socrates argued that wrongdoing often stems from ignorance. A person who spreads lies may not fully grasp the harm they're causing, or they blind themselves to it. Kant, duty and dignity. Kant's moral philosophy emphasizes treating people as ends, not means. Destroying someone's name uses them as a means for one's own gain, which is morally wrong. Existentialism, bad faith philosophers like Sartre described bad faith as denying responsibility for one's actions. People who invent stories to ruin others avoid confronting their own flaws, instead projecting them outward. Connecting all perspectives. Psychology says slander comes from insecurity, envy, and desire for control. The Bible frames it as sin rooted in the heart, violating God's command for truth. Philosophy shows it as envy, ignorance, or unethical behavior that strips others of dignity. In all lenses, it reflects a brokenness within the slanderer rather than the victim. Here's a teaching illustration. Short parable you can use when explaining why people create false stories to ruin others. The parable of the poisoned well. In a small village, there was a deep well that gave clean, sweet water. Everyone admired it, and the people who drank from it grew healthy and strong. One day a man grew jealous of the well's owner. He thought, why do people praise him? If they admired me instead, I would feel important. So, out of envy, he began to throw handfuls of dirt into the well each night. The next morning, the villagers found the water cloudy. He whispered, "See, the well is not as pure as you think." At first, the people doubted, but the more he kept adding dirt and repeating his lies, the more the villagers believed him. Slowly, they stopped trusting the well. But what the villagers did not realize was this: the dirt did not come from the well itself, it came from the jealous man's own hands. The water was pure, but his poisoned heart made it dirty. Moral, teaching point. Psychology: people throw dirt, false stories out of envy, insecurity, or a desire for control. Biblical: just as dirt does not belong to the well, lies do not define a person. They reveal the impurity of the one who spreads them. Matthew 15:18. Philosophy: spreading slander is an act of malice and ignorance, lowering one's own dignity rather than the victim's. A person's true worth is not determined by others' lies but by their character, just like the well's water remained pure at its source.
I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me. Philippians 4:13. This verse emphasizes faith, perseverance, and reliance on God's strength in all aspects of life, including challenges in law, justice, and moral decision-making. It serves as a reminder that with Christ's guidance, we can overcome obstacles, pursue righteousness, and uphold justice with integrity.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational content. See you in the next video.